Hello. Hopefully I'm sounding okay. I won't be staying for too long. I have a lot to do today. But hey, thought I'd come on for a second, say hello. I still need to finish Hand of Thrawn, which I'm gonna try to do while I'm waiting for my oil to change. I'm gonna go get my oil changed in a wee bit, and while I'm doing that, I suppose I don't know how long that takes. I imagine it takes a little bit. So while that's going on, I'll read more of the book. Um, but yeah, no one's here, so it doesn't matter. But getting reinvigorated to read more Star Wars. Watched the more civilized Age of Nine and Meg reviews and Matthew from Geeks Addict, and hearing Ryan flip a coin. Thursday night's characters when I was gonna die or not really got me in the mood. How am I doing? Flip a coin. Thursday night's characters when I was gonna die or not really got me in the mood. So far, I think I'm sounding okay, but I don't know. I'm not very good, I don't think. Sound pretty bad, actually. So far, sounding okay, but I don't know. It's in and out. But I'm not very good, I don't think. Sound pretty bad, actually. But I just thought I'd update, say hello. But the internet's being as it is, so probably not going to stick around too long. But just thought I'd check in, say hello. But kind of being poopy poop, I know. But yee. How you all doing? Because I'm not doing much outside of reading and having a life now. But that is what that is. But yeah, just say hello because it's been a bit. But again, internet's not gonna like me too much today. But it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, hope you're all doing well. What that's worth. What to do? Actually, I don't have any topic or anything. I'm sounding like a robot anyway. So I don't know. But I wish I wasn't sounding like a robot. No one's even home right now. It should sound wonderful. For some reason, it's not. I don't know. Why don't I practice some acting? I suppose, since no one is right here right now. Doctor Who, anybody? Sure, I'll win. You'll lose, but we can have this. It's objectively better. The acting, there's no acting because it's not a movie. So you have that. If you're talking in that regard, talking, like writing, character development, overall story, overall just vast superior to anything that the OT gave us or the PT. No, you can't use that argument against me because there's several other books that exist before Fourth Heretic. And as a whole, it's vastly superior. If you want to use that single trilogy as a means to dissuade my argument, you can go ahead, but then you're forgetting about the other 16 books that exist in that series. So I don't think you, as love the books, those exist. And, fair enough. All sequels are better than Fourth Heretic. Fourth Heretic kind of sucks. But that's one blemish on an otherwise perfection that is New Jedi Order. We will not have it in any way, sir. I'm sorry. There's no way around it. But yeah, to finish Hand of Thrawn, so probably won't stay too long because I gotta leave around 11. So get my oil change, get my mirror fixed after that car crash that I was in, and I do. Balance Point is better. All of NGO is better than OT. Don't listen to the false arguments of Manchester. All All of NGO's best peak Star Wars. Star Wars never got better. It will never get worse. There's nothing better than a New Order. It's peak Star Wars. It's everything that Star Wars should, could, and would be. That's why Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi will never recapture what NGO did. But they're good, but they're nowhere near the quality of New Jedi Order. Neither is the Band era. Neither is most books in the Clone Wars era. So it is what it is. I think that if you want to count comics, but that's not novels, so I don't really do that. But yeah, so that's my take, right? Revanchist is wrong, and that's all there is to it. Am I sounding like a robot? I feel like I am. I don't know. Robot Alex? Robot Alex? All right, I'm gonna give a little thing since I'm really planning this out. So, Doctor Who season 9. I forget which episode it's from, but it's called the Zygote Inversion, and I like the speech. So this might you watch a show, I don't know, but here we go. All right, let me I gotta prepare my acting for Brennan's short story and for anything else Marcel asked me to do. So I gotta get ready for that. You just want cruelty to beget cruelty. You're not superior to people who are cruel to you. Just a whole bunch of new cruel people. A whole bunch of new people being cruel to some other people who end up being cruel to you. The only way anyone can peace is if they're prepared to forgive. Why don't you break the cycle? What is it that you actually want the person of this war? And when this war is over, when you have the homeland free from humans, what do you think it's going to be like? Do you know? Have you thought about it at consideration? Because you're very close to getting what you want. Paint me a picture. Are you going to live in houses? Do you want people to go to work? What do we all is? Oh, well, the music. Do you think people will be allowed to play violins? Who will make the violins? Well, you don't actually know what you want. Sorry. Oh, you don't actually know, do you? Because just like every other tantruming child in history, Bonnie, you don't actually know what you want. So let me ask you a question about this brave new orders. When you've killed all the bad guys, and it's all perfect and just, when you finally got it exactly the way you did, do with people like you, the troublemakers. How you get your growth evolution from the next one? Bit of vector. I'm excited. Hello. High five. Enjoying your stuff whenever it comes out, though it seems like it's been a bit since your last video. Whenever the next one comes out. Canyon? Oof. That question. Oof. Hold on. Yeah, he really wanted me to be for some reason. So, favorite companion though. If it's then definitely it goes Donna Noble, Amy and Rory Pond, Clara, Martha, Rose, and then Billy at the very bottom. Sorry to Billy. If it's classic Who, I don't know all of them, but out of all of them, Sarah Jane, obviously, but also Ace from the Doctor's era, and I really enjoy probably more than all of the companions, I think, at least in terms of chemistry with the actor, would be Jamie from with the second Doctor, the Scotsman that he picks up in like the 1600s. I absolutely love think Jamie and the second Doctor perfection. They have the best chemistry ever, and I love them so much. I also think that Ian and Barbara are great. Ian and Barbara are really cool. And there's a lot of the ones between that I can forget about that I just don't care about much. They don't stick on my mind as much. But I don't remember hating companions. Not even Jack, which I don't like. I didn't hate him. No, see the thing is, see I like companions aren't romantically interested. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I've rose so low. But also, Martha is just overall smarter person. She, yeah, she's down bad doctor, but outside of that, she actually, like, she's actually a doctor. Like she's in the works to be a doctor. Like she's training to be a doctor. Like so, she has that expertise. She's actually, smart. She gets stuff done. Rose, not really. She goes along with the doctor. She's in line, blah 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 blah. I don't know. I just always had issues with her. I don't know. I don't hate her. I don't know. That's fair. Hopefully this kid feels better, man. But we have here the speech. So after all that, here's the last bit. When he goes, because I wrote that. Ask you a question about this brave new world. When you've killed all the guys, it's all perfect and just and when you finally got it exactly the way you want to do with the people like you, the troublemakers. How are you going to protect your glorious from the next one? Oh, will you? Maybe you will win. But nobody wins for long. The wheel just keeps. So come, break this cycle. She asks, are you still talking? Because I'm trying to get you to see, and I'm almost there. And we're off. Fingers on buzzers. I feel lucky. Ready to play the game. Who's going to be quickest? Who's going to be luckiest? No, it's not a game, sweetheart. And immediately. Because it's not a game. This is a skill of war. Every war ever fought right there in front of you. Because it's always this. When you fire the first shot, no matter how right you feel, you have no idea who's going to die. You don't know whose children to scream and burn. How many hearts will be burned? How many lives shattered? Well, Spelunks, everybody does what they're always going to do from the very beginning. Sit down and listen. Just want you to think. Do you know what thinking is? It's just a fancy word for changing your mind. She replies, I will not change my mind. Then you would die stupid. Alternatively, you could step away from the box. You could walk right out the door and you could do revolution down. She, of course, replies, I will not stop. Think they'll let me go after what I've done? You're all the same, you screaming kids, you know that. Look at me. I'm unforgivable. He's invisible. I forgive you. After all you've done. I forgive you. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. Oh, thank you. I'm making that one. I've been enjoying the show so far. No, I'm good. It's not that. I mean, the Rebellion era is the worst parts of the Marvel comics. I would help you out, but like in like a half hour. I just want to do like a little thingy majiggy. But I'll look into it. I've just been so much busier lately. I have to get my oil changed. I have to my mirror fixed because I got into a car accident. I gotta pick up my girlfriend because I got a lot to do today. So I can do it for you. Although, look at my reviews, I kind of have a way of how I work it around. I don't know if it's that accurate, of course, but if you just look at my reviews starting at the Rebellion era, like from After Dark times, I put what I think works, but you could look at it and tell me whether or not that's right or not. At my best. Some of it's kind of hard to know. What else do? But yes, the villain lies you understand. You will never understand. I don't understand. Me? Of course I understand. I mean, do you call this a war? This funny little thing? This is not a war. I fought in a bigger war than you ever know. I did worse things you could ever imagine when I closed my eyes. I hear more screams than anybody will ever be able to count. And you know what you do with all that pain? Shall I tell you where you put it? You hold it tight till it burns your hand. And you say this, no one else will ever have to live like this. No one else will ever have to feel this pain. Not on my watch. And that is basically the Zygon version speech. I obviously cannot do it justice because Peter Capaldi is far more better of an actor than I am. Yeah, like I said, so if you look at my channel, if you go back, I have the Dark Times comics and everything, and then we kind of delve into the Rebellion era. You can look at where I place things and see if it works out. And then you can also look at that, like Scott says, Joe has a cohesive timeline of Rebellion era. I did it best I could, I mean, some points there's a lot of, like, the old, like, strips, little small store. I know where to put them. So I just put them anywhere. But it worked out fairly well for me. I don't think I had too much hiccups there. But, it is what it is. Can I go? I got my Bible study tonight. I got other things in my car. I got to spend with my girlfriend. Just like, life gets busy. I also got to read and hopefully finish Hand of Thrawn Book 1 while waiting for my oil to change so I can review out for that. Doctor Who cool. Indiana Jones is cool. Star Wars is cool. So good stuff. I actually watched something with my mom recently. It's this thing made by Guillermo del Toro. How the fudge you say his name? And he did this. What's it called? It's a cabinet something. It's like this, like, kind of Twilight Zone, timeline. Twilight Zone's like horror series where, like, every episode is different. And one of them was an H.P. Lovecraft short story, which was pretty cool. And then the following one, I don't know, it was weird, but the reason I cared about it was because I noticed recently, like, RoboCop was in the episode. It's like, Mom, is that RoboCop? And I looked it up. It was RoboCop. He's a very distinct face. It was cool. It was like a bunch of dudes, a bunch of people just hanging around like a chair or like a table for like 40 minutes until they got up on this, like, alien artifact. Then just crap fan and lasts like 10 minutes. But it's like, I don't know, I found it boring. But it was something my mom wanted to watch with me, so I watched it. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you find me more entertaining than economics. But if you were in my high school teacher class, you would have loved economics. It's freaking fantastic. Yeah, it's very distinct. I was like, that's freaking RoboCop. He's like 70 now. It's insane. But yeah, I'm reading out of. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did the first time. I still have my statement that it didn't need to be 2 books and could have been done in 1. But it is what it is. not inherently contradictions. It's a little weird that Zahn makes it out to be that reason that Callista left Luke is because she's scared of his power. And that's not the reason she left Luke, but whatever. I made it fun. Oh, I loved my 12th grade teacher. He was great. It was, oh man, I missed that guy. One time he, with his ex-wife, he went to Paris, and to propose to her, instead of spending money on her ring, he took her to the Eiffel Tower, took out a screwdriver he had in his, or a wrench or something, and he unscrewed one of the bolts on the Eiffel Tower, just one, and put it on his ex finger. Which, I don't know. I'm not much for money. I don't really care about that. If I was a lady, I'd kind of like it's a baller move. I'd be kind of impressed with that one. Not gonna lie. If I'm there at the Eiffel Tower I'm a girl, right, in this scenario, and I got my husband, he's unscrewing a piece of the Eiffel Tower and putting it on my finger. That's pretty chatty, not gonna lie. So she's missing out. But he's a funny guy, and I like him a lot. I asked him once in class, like, "Hey, what's your like political opinion?" And he's like, "I'm your teacher. That's none of your business." And I was like, I freaking love this guy. And he'd go young men and young women to everyone in class except for me, where like, cause he like refused to remember names. Like, "Hey, Alex, can you close the door?" Sure, dude. But I love that guy. I miss him. Yes, was the original reason. But in the Zahn book, that she was scared of his power, which was never a thing for. It was her being afraid of corrupting him, and also being scared of diluting his power, or whatever, because she wasn't in the Force, even though Leia and Han exist, and Leia still becomes a Jedi. I feel like it's a BS, but whatever. She just needed to get on because nobody liked her, not because that didn't make sense, because it did. So whatever. But Zahn wants to retcon the reason why she left. Whatever. The Archer scenes are cool. I love seeing Booster. Booster's my favorite thing that Stackpole created, more so than Corran is, because I think Corran's kind of boring, but that's fine. Yeah, overall, I've been enjoying Hand of Thrawn a lot more than I did the first time. It's a very political heavy book. It's so political. Like, the whole conflict of the book is political. Like, the whole fake Thrawn thing, political move. The whole Kama incident, political move. Everything about this book is just politics, politics, politics. I never, ever, 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 ever want to hear anybody complain about the prequels politics when this entire book is nothing but politics. That's all this book is. Yes, the second book will get into the Hand of Thrawn and preparing for an invasion. Cool, but that's the background. That's not the main plot. The main plot is the Kamasi crisis and Bothans and everything, and the triumvirate group trying to make sure that the Empire not end up making history, which is all politics. That's all it is, and I love it. It's great, but it's that's what I criticize the prequels for. Too much politics. Literally all it is. I don't want to hear it. Yes, I mean, I like all the political maneuver stuff that's going on, but I do think it's a super weak plot as compared to other things. I mean, maybe I'm just giving it a more positive rate because I suffer through allegiance, choices of one, and scoundrels and all that stuff. And the Thrawn trilogy is good. Hand of Thrawn is okay. Survivor's Quest is okay. Everything afterwards, now on Flight is good. Everything else is just mediocre and bad. So, but yeah, I've been enjoying a lot more than before. I still think Hand of Thrawn did not need to be two. There's no need for it to be two books. It could have been done in one book. Could have been like 5 years. Didn't need to be two separate books. And I just feel so boring. I do like the Red Guard. I forget his name. Flim, the actor playing Thrawn. But I wish that it wouldn't have made much sound because of the Crimson Empire, but it would have been really cool to keep the comic to the novels if the Red Guard happened to be, the what the fudge is his name? Oh my gosh, the main guy from Crimson Empire. I thought would have been a cool connection, but it's different, but still. I like that. Here's the thing too. It's gonna be a hot take. I don't feel like chemistry between Mara and Luke. Not to look book, where just like magically pops in. Thank you, Crocanos. Thank you. That's what I meant. Crocanos. No, it's not thinking. It's what it was. That's what Zahn says. But what Anderson writes is not that. What Hamley writes is not that. In Darksaber, she didn't have access to the Force unless she used the dark side. And she didn't need to be around Luke like that. The other excuse was, well, I'm just a normal person, and you shouldn't be with a normal person. Even though Leia's with Han. So not really nothing to do with being scared of Luke. Never once did she mention she found power or what he could do with it. That was never a concern of hers. Ever. At least none of the books prior to the book. It is what it is. I don't really care that much. I'm not the biggest Calista fan like Matt is. But it's not a contradiction either. It's just weird because that was never established before. I can look up the exact page where it's said if you want me to. I could send it to you later. But it explicitly says she was scared of Luke's power. It does say that. I remember that being said. I'm reading the book right now. I remember it being said. Regardless, it's weird. There's never a thing before. I don't know at all. Other than Zahn just wanted to say that to maybe retcon something because he doesn't like those books. I don't know. It sounds like something Zahn would do, though. But it is what it is. No. It wasn't think. It was no. It was she was afraid. It was Luke. If you want to make the argument that it's just that he thinks so, I guess you can do that. But that's still BS because clearly what Zahn's trying to tell you is that's what it is. But you could maybe hand wave it by doing that. But that still doesn't fix the problem. Just a way to silence it so you don't have to think about it anymore. It's still weird. But whatever. Anyway, I need to get ready to head out. So, a good rest of your day. Thank you for sticking around, wasting your time watching me talk about nonsense for a little bit. Sure, internet always sucks anyway. I probably saw it right now. But love you all. Appreciate you all. And, thanks to the most recent Civilized Age, I'm so excited to reread New Gender just because I'm hearing Ryan Kennel talk about, flip it down those Young Jedi Knights characters, whether or not they make it through Starbase. It's really funny, and it just helps me remember how much I love that series. So, honestly, I'll say you can read it that way. That's fine, whatever. But again, his fear was never a thing before either. That's something only established in his books. Because that's something that Zahn wanted on for some reason. But it's not something that Luke ever really feared before, outside of maybe Shadows of Mindor. But that's like years prior to this book. He's a Jedi Master. He's never really shown any fear of his power in the last couple series, like the Corellian trilogy or the trilogy before that. He's never really had any issues with that. So they're just only brought up now out of the blue. I feel like it's been a concurrent throughout all of Bantam, but it is only really addressed here. So, but it is what it is. It's whatever. It's not. I'm not hating on it. It's fine. I'm just saying it's weird. It kind of comes out of the blue. but I don't mind it. It's just something I noticed going through the second time. But, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Have a good one, all of you. See you next time.